how to install a WordPress website on DigitalOcean, add a domain name, and a SSL certificate for HTTPS. In this step-by-step tutorial, we'll start off by creating our DigitalOcean account and installing WordPress on a DigitalOcean cloud server called a Droplet. I'll then show you how to purchase a domain name using a domain registrar called Namecheap. After that, I'll show you how to point the domain name you just purchased to your WordPress site's DigitalOcean Droplets IP address. And lastly, we'll use DigitalOcean's console to connect to our WordPress site, and we'll add an SSL certificate using Certbot and Let's Encrypt. And at the very end of this video, I'll show you how to log into your WordPress site as admin and do some basic housekeeping security measures on a brand new WordPress site, such as updating to the latest WordPress version and check if your site health is looking good. Okay, so let's begin. So first, let's create our DigitalOcean droplet and install WordPress. First, open up your browser and navigate to the following URL address. This URL address is my referral link to DigitalOcean, and it will give you $200 in free DigitalOcean cloud credits to try out their servers free for 60 days. I'll put my referral link in the video description below. Once here, you'll need to create your DigitalOcean account if you don't already have one. You can do so by signing up with your email, your GitHub account, or your Google account. Now, I already have a DigitalOcean account, so I'm simply going to click on Sign In. Once you've created your DigitalOcean account and have signed in, you'll be taken to your DigitalOcean dashboard. If we look towards the left, you can see I'm in a project called Tutorials. To spin up a WordPress site on DigitalOcean, navigate to the green Create button and click on it. Then click on Droplets, which is what DigitalOcean calls its cloud servers, or virtual private servers, VPSs. Start off by choosing a region. I'm going to go with New York. Once you've picked your region, scroll down until you see where it says Choose an Image. By default, you'll be on OS, but what we're looking for is the one-click install apps available on DigitalOcean's Marketplace. So click on Marketplace, click on the search box and type WordPress. You should then see the WordPress app, which is a popular content management system built on PHP and MySQL. Click on WordPress. The one-click install app called WordPress on Ubuntu has now been selected. Scroll down until you see where it says Choose Size. Because you're just starting off with your WordPress site, a droplet type of shared CPU basic plan is more than enough. You won't need to take any notice of the dedicated CPU sizes as you're just starting your journey. Scroll down until you see CPU options. You have the premium CPUs on the right hand side here, but you can just roll with the regular CPU, which has a disk type of SSD, whereas the premiums have a premium CPU and premium storages like NVMe SSD disks. Next, you'll need to choose your plan. Of course, you're just beginning, so you can roll with the $6 a month plan, which gives you 1 GB of RAM, 1 CPU, 25 GB SSD disk storage, and a terabyte of bandwidth. Now, DigitalOcean is a very flexible cloud provider, and you can upgrade as necessary as your WordPress site continues to gain traffic and continues to grow due to popularity. Scroll down until you see where it says Choose Authentication Method. You have the option between SSH key or password. Click on the circle here to select password, and then create a root password for your DigitalOcean droplet. Your password must meet the password requirements below. So I'm just going to enter my password now. Once you've entered your password, scroll down until you see where it says Advanced Options. Click on Advanced Options. To future-proof your WordPress site, you'll need to enable IPv6 on your DigitalOcean droplet. This is free to do and enables public IPv6 networking. Now, you don't need to do this, but if you want to future-proof your WordPress site, as the internet in the future will be moving from IPv4 to IPv6 IP addresses. So I'm just going to checkmark this box to enable IPv6. Continue to scroll down until you see where it says hostname. Here, you'll need to give your droplet an identifying name. So I'm just going to delete everything that's pre-typed in here, and I'm going to call my droplet WordPress. Once you've given your droplet a name, click on Create Droplet. DigitalOcean will then begin installing WordPress on your DigitalOcean cloud server. I'll be back with you once the progress bar finishes and WordPress has been installed on our droplet. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, our droplet called WordPress is now up and running, indicated by the green status symbol here. This is the IPv4 address, and you can see a Getting Started hyperlink text here for WordPress. Now let's purchase a domain name. Open up another tab in your browser, so I'm just going to click on my other tab here and navigate to the following URL address. This URL address is my referral link to Namecheap, and it will give you a discount on numerous domain name TLDs. So as you can see, as a newcomer, you get 57% off on your first .com domain, 13% off with a .net, and 42% off with a .org. If you scroll down, you can see a bunch of other TLDs where you can see the relevant discounts for each of them. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back up to the top. To find a new domain name to purchase, click on this text box here and type in the domain name that you want. So I want Websplaining, so I'm just going to type Websplaining in here. and then I'm going to click on search. For this domain name, websplaining.com is taken. Of course, this is my domain name and I currently own it. However, .net is available on .org and other TLDs. For video demonstration's sake, I'm just going to choose the websplaining.net domain name and I'm going to simply add it to the cart. Once you've chosen a domain name and added it to your cart, you'll need to check out, so click on checkout here. Make sure domain privacy is enabled, as that's free with Namecheap. And above, for your domain registration, you can choose the number of years you'd like to register. Once you are happy with your cart and your subtotal, click on confirm order. You'll then need to create a Namecheap account and fill in all the relevant personal and billing details. Once all that's done, sign into your Namecheap account. So I'm just going to close out of this tab here to be taken to my signed in account of Namecheap. When you first sign into Namecheap, you'll be on your dashboard. Click domain list and find your domain name. As you can see in my domain list here, you can see websplaining.com. To the right hand side of your domain name, click on manage. Scroll down until you see where it says Nameservers. By default, your domain name will be pointing to Namecheap's basic DNS. Click on this drop down arrow and click on Custom DNS. In here, you'll need to add DigitalOcean's 3 nameservers. To make space for a third nameserver, just click on add nameserver here, and now you have the ability to add 3 nameservers. To get these nameservers, we'll need to go back to our DigitalOcean dashboard. So I'm just going to go back to my other tab here, and then I'm going to go back to the green button here that says create, and I'm going to click on it. I'm then going to scroll down until I see where it says domain/DNS. This will allow you to route your existing domains to DigitalOcean, so I'm just going to click on it to select this service. In networking, click on domains if you're not already in there by default. In the text box that says enter domain, click on it, and you'll need to enter the domain name you just purchased from Namecheap. So mine is websplaining.com. Select your project. In my case, that's going to be tutorials. You'll only have one project, so you don't need to worry about this. Click on add domain. Okay, so websplaining.com was added to DigitalOcean. Scroll down until you see where it says DNS Records. You can see 3 name servers abbreviated as NS, NS1, NS2, ns3.digitalocean.com. You'll want to copy each of these and paste them into the custom DNS section of Namecheap or your other domain name registrar if you didn't buy a domain name from Namecheap. To the right of ns1.digitalocean.com, click on copy to copy it. I'm going to go back to my Namecheap domain list. Under custom DNS, name server 1, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on paste. Make sure to delete the full stop, as that is not necessary. Repeat this for the other 2 name servers. So I'm just going to grab ns2 name server and I'm going to delete the full stop. And I'm going to grab ns3 and I'm going to paste and I'm going to delete the full stop. Once you've added the 3 custom DNS records for DigitalOcean's name servers, make sure to click on the check mark here to save. As you can see, you get a small notification here which says DNS server update may take up to 48 hours to take effect. Keep that in mind. From my experience, it doesn't take that long on a fresh domain name you just purchased. Go back to your DigitalOcean tab, and now what we'll need to do is create some records. Now that our domain name is pointing to DigitalOcean's name servers, we'll now need to point our WordPress droplet to our domain name. First, let's create A records. Make sure A is selected by clicking on this tab here, and where you see hostname underneath this text box, left click on it and then type the @ symbol. This @ symbol is for our domain name websplaining.com without a subdomain, and it will redirect to, we'll need to select the DigitalOcean droplet that has WordPress installed, so just click on this text box and then select the droplet. So my WordPress droplet is called WordPress. Leave the TTL as it is and then click on create record. And there we go. If we look under DNS records, you can see the A record websplaining.com now directs to the IPv4 address of our DigitalOcean droplet, which in my case is 138.197.93.2. Now let's add a subdomain. Again, make sure the A record is selected. Click on the hostname text box here and type a subdomain that you want. So I want www. And if you look under here, you can see the preview of the hostname, which in my case is www.websplaining.com. Again, for will direct to, click on this text box and select your DigitalOcean WordPress droplet. Click on create record. Okay, so another A record has been successfully created. Now to future-proof our website, let's also point websplaining.com and www.websplaining.com to the IPv6 address of our DigitalOcean WordPress droplet. To do this, click on the AAAA tab. Once you've done that, just repeat what you did for the IPv4 address for the IPv6 address instead. So let's start off by adding the @ symbol here for websplaining.com. Click on the will direct to text box and select your WordPress droplet's IPv6 address. Click on create record. And there we go. The quadruple A record has been added. As you can see, websplaining.com directs to the IPv6 address, which starts with 260.04 in my case. And now let's direct the www.hostname. So just type www in here. We'll direct to, click on the text box and select your WordPress site's IPv6 address and then click on create record. Okay, so in the DNS records now, we've got 2 IPv6 records and 2 IPv4 records, and of course the 3 automatically added DigitalOcean Nameservers. Okay, now that all the DNS records have been added, we can go back to our DigitalOcean project that contains our WordPress droplet. In my case, it's tutorials, so I'm just going to click on that. You'll only have one, so just click on it underneath projects. So as you can see, we've got one droplet and one domain name now, which has the following records and directs to our WordPress droplet. Now what we're going to do is set up and configure the freshly installed WordPress app on our DigitalOcean droplet. To do this, we're going to need to connect to our DigitalOcean droplet using the SSH protocol. We'll be using DigitalOcean's convenient console built into DigitalOcean. To do this, simply click on your droplet's name. In my case, it's called WordPress. You'll then be able to see all the advanced settings and have access to more features of your droplet. So you can access the DigitalOcean droplet in 2 ways. You can either click on access here, and then underneath droplet console, you could log in as root and then just simply click on launch droplet console. Or, which is the method that I like to use, is simply navigate to the top right here and click on the word console. The DigitalOcean console will then open in another window. I'm just going to maximize it here for better viewing. The first thing the console asks us is our domain/subdomain name that our WordPress site is going to use. So my WordPress site is going to use websplaining.com. So I'm just going to type websplaining.com in here. You type your appropriate domain name that you purchased or have. Hit enter on your keyboard. Now the console will take us through the process of creating our admin user account for our WordPress site. It'll ask us for our email address. So I'm just going to type my email address in here, which is going to be websplaining123@gmail.com. Once you've chosen an email address for your WordPress site, hit enter. Now I'll need to choose a username. I'm just going to go with admin. You can roll with whatever username you want on your WordPress site. Hit enter on your keyboard. And now it asks us for our password. So I'm just going to enter in a password now, and I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. It will then ask us for our blog title. So mine's going to be called Tech Tutorials. You can give it whatever name you want. Hit enter. It'll then ask you, is this information correct? You're going to press Y for yes. If it's not correct, press N for no, and then hit enter on your keyboard. The console then asks you, would you like to use Let's Encrypt Certbot to configure SSL HTTPS for your new site? Y for yes, N for no. Of course, you're going to type Y and hit enter on your keyboard. You'll then need to enter an email address for urgent renewal and security notices. It's important you fill this in for your own benefit. So I'm just going to type websplaining123@gmail.com. Once you've entered your email address in here, just hit enter on your keyboard. It will then ask you to please read the terms of service at the following URL address. You must agree in order to register with the ACME server. Do you agree? So you can read through this in your own time. Of course, if you want to continue, you'll need to type Y and then hit enter on your keyboard. Next, it asks you if you're willing to share your email address with the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is a founding partner of Let's Encrypt's project. This is not mandatory, it's optional. So Y for yes or N for no. I don't want to share it, as of course this is optional. I'm going to type N for no, hit enter on your keyboard. The console then asks you which names would you like to activate HTTPS for. 1 for websplaining.com, 2 for www.websplaining.com. Of course, your domain names and subdomain names will be in here. Select the appropriate numbers separated by commas and or spaces, or leave input blank to select all options shown. So if you want a specific one, type in the number. If you want both of them or 3 of them or whatever, so in my case it's 2 options, type 1, 2, or if you want to select all the options, I don't even need to type 1, 2. I can just leave this option blank and I'll select all the available options shown, and HTTPS will be activated on all of them. So I'm just going to leave it blank and hit enter on my keyboard. So then it's going to request a certificate for your domain and subdomain names. And there we go. The certificate has successfully been received, and we've now got HTTPS working on our WordPress site. WordPress has been successfully installed, and WordPress failed to ban has also been installed. Let's go back to our main browser window here and then open up a new tab and go to our WordPress site's domain name. So in this new tab's address bar, you can type https:// and then your domain name. So in my case, it's websplaining.com. I could also type https://www.websplaining.com. Hit enter on your keyboard, and then you'll be taken to your WordPress site. And there we go. This is just a fresh install of WordPress, and it's the default theme. To log into your WordPress site as admin, you'll need to go to the admin login page. To do this, go back to your address bar at the very top here, and just add /wp-admin to your link. So it should be https:// your domain name, which in my case is websplaining.com/wp-admin. Hit enter on your keyboard. And log in with the username or email address that you entered into the DigitalOcean console, and the password also. So I'm just going to do that now. So my username was admin, and I'm just going to enter my password in now. I'm going to click on remember me, and I'm going to click on login. And there we go. I've logged into my WordPress site as admin. You can see this is the current version of WordPress. Now what I recommend doing as soon as you log in is update your WordPress site to the latest version. So the latest version at the time of recording of this video is WordPress 6.8.1. To do the update, just simply click on please update now. Look look for the blue button that says update to version and then the latest version number, which in my case is 6.8.1. So I'm just going to click on this button here. WordPress will then begin updating. Once WordPress is updated, you'll be shown the latest WordPress version. So that's one of the basic housekeeping things that you should do to your WordPress site on a fresh install. Next, what I also recommend doing is checking your WordPress site's health. To do this, navigate to the left-hand side to where you see tools, hover over it, and then click on site health. And as you can see, there is one critical issue, which is WordPress failed to ban. Failed to ban is not running. Now, fail to ban is very important on WordPress. It's a cybersecurity tool that you should keep running at all times. So let's address this critical issue and start fail to ban. Go back to your other browser window, which contains your DigitalOcean console. In the console window, type the following command to check on the status of fail to ban. Type service space fail to ban space status and then hit enter on your keyboard. And as you can see, for the word active here, it says inactive or dead, which means the fail to ban service is not running. We'll therefore need to start fail to ban. To do this, type service space fail to ban space start. Once you've typed this in, hit enter on your keyboard. Fail to ban should now be running. To check that, you'll need to check on the status again. So type service space fail to ban space status and then hit enter on your keyboard. And if we look to where it says active, you can see it's active and running, and that's indicated in green here. Great, so fail to ban is now up and running. Now if we go back to our WordPress browser window here and refresh our WordPress site health here, the critical issue will then vanish as fail to ban is running correctly. And now you have some recommended improvements that you can tend to in your own time. Now you can begin customizing your WordPress site, such as installing plugins, updating your current plugins, and creating blog posts. If you want to go back to your public page of your WordPress site, hover over your WordPress site's name and click on Visit Site. So HTTPS is indeed running as indicated by the URL address, but if you want to double check, you can click on this symbol here to view site information, and you can see the connection is secure indicated by the padlock, and you can click on Show Connection Details to get even more information about the certificate. Okay, so that pretty much concludes this video on how to install a WordPress website on DigitalOcean, add a domain name, and a SSL certificate for HTTPS. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, comment down below, and most importantly of all, subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you on the next video.
Why is it so hard to let you go?